There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No barking from the dog.
Yo, what's up? Good evening, everybody. Hey, how is everybody this Sunday evening? You have tuned into Kaotic Sports. Tonight, you are entertained by your fearless leader here. My name is Jeremy G. I am the Jew, and in the engineering booth this evening is B.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Going good. How about yourself?
I'm doing excellent. Don't do edibles after you're hungover and go to Disneyland. That's what we've learned today.
I just don't do edibles at all. Fuck that.
Yeah. No. So yeah, overslept a little bit. So yeah, we had some drinks last night. Was a little tired. Apparently more tired than I felt. And edibles knocked me out.
Edibles put your dick in the dirt. That's what they do.
You know, I like to tell people they accentuate whatever you're. If you're happy, they'll make you happier. But guess what? I was tired. Yeah. So the entire, as was the wife apparently too, because she took one at the same time as I did. And at 4 p.m. we went down for an hour-long nap, and we didn't wake up till 6 p.m. So yeah, perfect. That is why we were late this evening. I apologize for all you avid listeners at home who are glued to your either you're listening online at chaoticradio.us or you're watching us on YouTube since 6 p.m. waiting for us to get on air. And I do apologize for the last 55 minutes. I will make it up to you, I promise. I don't know if I have to get naked. If I have,
no, you don't do that.
No. I mean, if they want me to, if they want me to,
I don't see anything on the YouTube saying so.
If the YouTube watchers right now, if you want me to get naked, I will do so. So, Scotty was trying to get here. He was coming off. He was playing at Torrey Pines today.
Good for him.
Yeah. It was one of the first tournaments of the season, and he's on his way back now. And he was trying to make it back for the show, so hopefully maybe we can get a call in at least, or maybe he can stop in for the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll
Scotty,
see.
If you're there, let me know. I'll call you up, and we can have you on air.
Yep. Yeah. So it was actually the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, and Justin Rose won that for #1 player in the world. So yeah, great. That was your golf talk for the day. Yeah, awesome. So what happened? Last week you weren't here. And we weren't here either last week because we were watching.
No, I was here last week.
Oh, you were here last week?
Yeah. I told you guys I was here because.
That's right.
My phone didn't get the messages. So I came down early.
That's right. We had talked about when we were all together briefly that we were not going to be here last week because of the AFC Championship game was going on during the show. And goddamn, that was an amazing ending to a game. I'm glad I was not here. Sorry, listeners and fans.
I watched it here.
Like, it was truly one of the greatest finishes to a football game I've ever seen.
Both games were like the best football games we've seen all year long.
Going into last weekend, of course, I wanted the Rams to win. I'm not happy how they won. Results, but I'm not happy. We'll talk more about that. But I just wanted good games last weekend, and man, the NFL delivered for sure. Because the week before wasn't great games. The divisional games were not great, but the championship rounds were fucking amazing. Yeah, it was actually truly. I mean, seeing Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes basically just go, "Don't leave time on the clock," looking at each other, and I called the coin flip at my house. Our old friend CBA and Anna were over, and I said, whoever gets the coin flip is winning this game. I didn't say that in the Rams Saints game and before the coin flip. I just had a feeling that this one was the team that got the coin flip was going down the field and scoring a touchdown.
I was a little curious about the people who were watching who maybe new to it, didn't understand the exact rules of the overtime. And overtime's been changed this year, wasn't it?
It was changed again. I think this is the current rule that's in place has been in it for 2 or 3 years now. But yeah, it's been changed where if you get the ball, every team has the right to get the ball at least once, unless the first team who gets it scores a touchdown. It seems a little chicken shit, but I kind of, it was somewhere in between the old rule of first team that scores regardless, because you can kick a field goal and only get, 20, 30 yards on after you get the kickoff and be in field goal position, or and then it's somewhere between that rule and the college rule, which is basically each team gets it on the 25-yard line,
and keep powering
and you can go as long as you match the scores, the game remains tied, but obviously college players aren't paid, and they don't get the right. They don't have a players union in college to say, hey, that's too much football for us. So the NFL is never going to go to that. I can tell you that right now. The argument for both Kansas City and New Orleans, who I hate to tell you, and I'll bring this up a little bit later on because somebody mentioned to me that this week that the NFL wanted the Rams and Patriots.
No, they didn't,
because it was Los Angeles versus Boston, the two big markets. And I said, you are out of your mind. And I'll tell you exactly why. The NFL wanted New Orleans and Kansas City. They wanted 100% New Orleans and Kansas City because those teams, not only do they travel well, both of them are two of the best, with Pittsburgh and Green Bay, are two of the best traveling teams. But Kansas City hasn't won since the second Super Bowl. Patriots have been so often that Patriots demand and their aura at the Super Bowl, it's worn off because people are just tired of it. They've had enough. They've been desensitized to the Patriots. So when the Patriots make the Super Bowl in consecutive years, ticket prices go way down. Because think about it, if let's say you make $300,000 a year and you live in Boston, and your Patriots you live and die by the Patriots, are you going to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for your Super Bowl week in tickets? Essentially, you've done that. You could have possibly done that. You could have possibly done that 8 times already. Are you going to do it again for the 9th? So those are the type of things that you have to think about. So they don't. And no matter what Rams fans come out of the woodwork, and I'm going to be honest with you, I am absolutely one of them. I grew up a Rams fan. I've told this story 100%. I grew up a Rams fan. I rooted for them when they were here. I rooted for them hard even when their first few years in St. Louis, when they won the Super Bowl, and I think it was 99 or 2000.
99.
I rooted hard for them. I was emotional when they won, but when they started sucking in St. Louis, I kind of and the Chargers were doing good. I kind of whatever. I don't have a team anymore. The fact they're both back, both the Chargers and the Rams are here now, makes me root more for both teams. But now that the Rams are here, there's a lot of people on that bandwagon, right? And I jumped 100% on. I was wearing my Dickerson jersey during the game, and I'll tell you what. I've had the feels for the first time watching football in probably since I had my Chargers tickets in San Diego and they were going good for things. I actually cared about the ending of a football game like on a personal level, and I have not felt that in a long time. And it may have been a long way. I may have taken me a long time to get to that point there, but that was my point. The Rams had me interested and wanting them to win, and I haven't had a fandom moment like that in so many years. So I am so looking forward to this Sunday. I am gonna 100% root for the Rams. I know it sounds weird. I'm 100% root for the Rams. If they lose, I'm gonna be really happy for the New England, not New England Patriots per se, for two people, for Bob Kraft and for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what you say about them. That dude is fucking amazing. He is absolutely amazing. And you know what? The week before that game last week, Bob Kraft came out and said that Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time.
He's
right.
And
there are people who are complaining, Jim Brown, Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders. No, fuck you. I'm sorry. I know this. I don't want to live in the moment. I don't want to be one of those guys. But Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time. You want to talk about athletes? Not even close. But I think you have to talk about Tom Brady as you do Michael Jordan. What Michael Jordan is to basketball, Tom Brady is to football. Somebody asked me yesterday, who's the greatest quarterback that you've ever seen in football? I said Aaron Rodgers. I said second might be Peyton Manning, and third might be Tom Brady. For me, if Scotty was here, he would throw in Drew Brees, rightfully so, right? But to me, he's not the best quarterback. He just is in the best decisions. He makes the best. Fucking A. You just got to marvel at it all the time now. It's amazing what he does, and the fact that he's gotten there now for third consecutive year, 9 times. Think about this one. If you are an 18 to 20-year-old, maybe 22-year-old New Englander, you think you're supposed to go to the Super Bowl every other year. You literally think that is your right.
This is like the run they had with the Celtics in the 70s.
Yeah. They think, you make the finals. What the hell? This is bullshit. And Boston fans are really passionate. They are really passionate fans for all their sports. They love honestly, they love their hockey team and their football teams and the baseball and basketball equally. I think they're really rabid good fans out there. So honestly, I would be happy. I would be happy for like I said, the city of I guess the city,
New England area.
Yeah, what technically that's basically calling like
it's Connecticut,
right,
Massachusetts, Vermont, Rhode Island, Maine.
Right. So they're basically just calling like the Los Angeles Angels. Like we're not. But Foxborough itself is nowhere near Boston, right? It's still like a half an hour or so outside of Boston. It's not. I don't think it's Boston central. So yeah, but yeah, the Boston. They don't want to call themselves the Boston Patriots. So New England sounds pretty good. So they get a little more fandom, and you can claim them. You know, it's like the Saints. You know, they're claimed by all the Southeast. You know, everyone from Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, they all claim the Saints.
It looks. Foxborough it looks far away from Boston.
Yeah.
It's south of Boston, like it looks like about an hour.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, so this Sunday is going to be amazing. Where are you watching, B? Where
I'm always in Palm Springs. I go to Palm Springs. It's been time of people I see out there to see Super Bowl. But I got to give you a little bit of love. I was on I was gone on a ship, and lucky for us, we were able to get the Rams Cowboys game on the ship. Right. And I cheered so loud for the Rams I pissed off Cowboys fans where they wanted to punch me.
Yeah.
So the thing was, I was like, I went in there and said, my main team is anybody but the Cowboys, just because screw the Cowboys. But we were having so much fun doing things like whenever the Rams do something good, give me 2 claps of the Ric Flair. Woo! Yeah. And then every first down is like, look at the gun show on the first down. And the guys were they one guy actually walked up to the friend of mine who was with me. He's like, I want to punch your friend so bad. And I walked up to him after. I'm like, you want to punch me? You guys lost. You go right ahead. Took off my glasses and everything. And he didn't follow through.
Well, of course not. No. That is the benefit of being a very large man. We both have that people want to do things to us, but they tend not to try. Yeah. You know, people always wonder, like, you're going to go outside in the dark. I'm like, yeah, then no one's going to fuck with me. If they're going to fuck with me, it's going to be involved with a gun, and nobody has a chance. You know, so it's like, but nobody's going to come up to me and try to reach into my pocket. You know, unless I'm super drunk, or in Mexico, it's the only time it's ever happened to me before. You know, so that's the kind of thing is we don't get messed with in that sense. So yeah, so come on, come at us, punch us.
It was hilarious. I had a great time. The fact that we had the game on the ship, and just having a good time talking a lot of shit to Cowboys fans.
Yeah, you know, I have no problem. Like, I would root for, because I know enough Cowboy fans, and I care for enough Cowboy fans in my life, and I know how hard they love their team, that I would actually have been okay with them winning and doing well in this playoffs, except for Jerry Jones. It's the opposite of New England. It's just like, that man is so dirty and so sleazy and so controlling to the rest of the league and how everything gets done, that I just was like, I don't want to see him, that squirrely veneered, tooth face, slot. You don't want hashtag to me too. I mean, how many people in his past could come out right now, because he is just dirty, and I would never want to see him do well. So as soon as Jerry Jones dies, the Cowboys can do well again. That's how, as long as his family, his squirrely son isn't the same. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no. So But this weekend is going to be great. You told me before you have some of the prop bets listed, and that's always fun. Usually in the back in the day, I always remember the Kobe / Shaq. They would always incorporate how many free throws. It would be more free throws missed by Shaq. Versus field goals in the game. How many total points by Kobe or by one team. So what do you got for me? What are you showing there? And let's do a quick rundown of the prop bets and which way we like them. So
okay, the one they say is the top bet is the Rams to have the longest successful field goal at minus 115.
Oh, that's easy, I think. Yeah, I mean, Greg the Leg, obviously 57-yarder, to win it, which was crazy in that game if you think about that alone. If you miss that kick, a 57-yarder, that's basically putting the ball on the 40-yard line for the other team. They got to go another 25 yards,
So that was that minus 115 means you put 115 down and win $100.
Right. It's minus 115 in sports betting world is basically even. So they're going to try to get 10 to 15%. You might see a 110, but 115 is basically like I said, a pick'em thing. So yeah.
The over under for Tom Brady to throw an interception, over 0.5 minus 110.
So it means
he has to throw one interception and you win.
I think it's a pretty safe thing, but you just never know. I mean, that's one of those things. They know what they're doing. He hasn't been getting touched. In the first 2 games, he's literally been knocked down 1 time in 2 games in the playoffs.
So I was looking at the MVP.
Oh, I heard about that one. That's interesting.
Who do you like in MVP?
I think. I've already heard this one. I'll let you know. The MVP favorites are obviously Tom Brady and Jared Goff. If you win your team, I don't think Jared Goff can be the MVP of this game unless he has a super amazing game. And I think the only way he has a super amazing game is if the other parts of their team do unbelievable jobs. Where C.J. Anderson and which I'm saying his name first, and Todd Gurley dominate running the ball, or Aaron Donald, Dominican Sue, and Michael Brockers on the defensive line dominate on their side. So I think it's going to be. I think it's going to end up being either a running back. If the Rams win, I think it'll either be a running back or a defensive player winning it.
Okay, so Tom Brady's plus 110, Goff plus 225, Gurley 1,300.
Yeah,
Michelle 1,600, C.J. Anderson 2,000, Donald 2,000.
Yep.
And then we get down to who else I thought was interesting. Sue plus 8,000.
I like the Sue one.
I think
honestly, because they're going to double team Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
So Sue might have three fumble, 3 sacks and a fumble recovery, something like that.
Another one I thought was really good. How many plays will Tony Romo correctly predict during the game?
Oh,
the line is 7.5. The under's even. The over's minus 140.
I will say that I think it's under because he is absolutely amazing. Watching that game, I was just I think I heard he's making $4 million this year. I read the article this week after the predictions he made this past week, predicting so many correct plays that were about to be potential. They got to go to Gronk down the sideline. He's I'm like and he correctly calls them. That they were talking about extending his contract and making sure he's locked up for CBS because honestly, you don't get geeked out by announcers. I got geeked out because he was just really good at announcing. He was really smooth. He wasn't uninteresting at all. He wasn't, let's say, Jason Witten-esque, He was entertaining. I was over CBS because I like Jim Nantz, but I hate Phil Simms, So I was like, okay, fine. I'll listen. We have to watch the games we get. But yeah, Tony Romo is absolutely amazing. And I'll give you an analogy to Tony Romo's innate prediction calling for the plays. You know who Daniel Negreanu is?
Yeah,
Daniel Negreanu is a poker player.
Yeah.
He's considered the greatest poker player to ever play, tournament poker player to ever play, because Daniel Negreanu will sit there in a live poker tournament and tell you what two cards you have, as if he's working the camera. And can see underneath, and he'll just go break it down. You either have, pocket kings, king, queen, or a pair of nines, and the guy will pick, show his cards, pair of nines. It's like you can only be betting like you can only be betting like that if you had that, and that's what I see when I see Tony Romo going and doing that. I find it truly amazing that he can predict so many plays. It's not like. I know it's a simple game that's complicated by a lot of different things, but we could play backyard style right now and have a game and I could tell you go button hook and or a crossing pattern or something, and you know kind of what I would be telling you. But it's amazing how he is 2 years now out of playing, but just is that smart and that savvy to know other teams' plays. That's amazing. So
they have another one for Tony Romo.
Okay.
What will Tony Romo be doing at the start of the 2019 NFL season? TV analyst, -500. Playing NFL, +300. Coaching as the offense coordinator, +500. Coaching as the defense coordinator, +1,600.
He's announcing.
Yeah.
Tony Romo, when I look at him, he is the guy that loves to golf, loves to work once a week. That's what he's going to do. He's going to prep. He'll do his prep during the week, but he's going golfing. He's going to have his other business interests, So, but yeah, I heard he's making $4 million a year. There's no coordinator job making $4 million. He can get probably $20 million playing quarterback right now because people would probably pay him $20 million to play quarterback. I honestly think that right now because of the fact that he is so good at doing what they you got to realize.
What team?
Oh, anybody that desperately needs a quarterback, as in
the Jaguars,
the Redskins. Do you get rid of Eli Manning? For Tony Romo? I would.
No.
In a second, I would. You know, they're about the same age. Romo's obviously smarter. He's more. He's more more confident in his appearance and his actions. You know. So yeah, to me, yeah, that's where I would give him if my team desperately needed a quarterback and I thought they were close. You know, Denver Broncos.
Yeah,
you know,
Broncos, okay.
You know, something like that. Who's got a great defense and just Broncos basically right now are exactly where they were when Peyton Manning was available. You realize that they have fewer offensive weapons because they got rid of Demaryius Thomas and C.J. Anderson and Emmanuel Sanders is out, and I think he's a free agent as well. But they're essentially just a really good defense who needs a quarterback and shit. If you can get a couple few good years out of Tony Romo, you know, I see that as the only other possibility besides being an announcer. So
okay, how many times will Ted Raff be mentioned during the broadcast?
Ted Raff is who?
Ted Raff is the wrangler for Sean McVay.
Oh, I did see that for the first time yesterday.
So
I did see that. I had never noticed that, never even thought about that.
So they got over under 3.5.
If you're listening at home, I do appreciate you. Ted Raff is a man whose literal job is to basically put his hands on Sean McVay's hips and draw him back in, basically like a spotter at the gym. Basically, and then like, I got you. You're not going anywhere, and he basically just taps him, pulls him back in, and because he's about to either get in harm's way or a penalty for being too close onto the field. And I want to know, like, so I saw somebody posted this yesterday on social media. I can't remember who it is to give him any credit, but what does that job application look like? And what does it look like on your resume leaving that position? You know, and how many discernible skills can you get from that? So, yeah, that is amazing. How many times will we mention on camera? I will say he'll be mentioned 3 times. What is the under over?
3.5.
Holy shit!
And over. Okay, 3.5 is over -175, under +135.
Yeah. Because I literally think now that it was made known, they will bring it up, you know, once in a segment a couple times probably. So I figure that's 2 in that first time, you know, and maybe they'll show them one another time, you know, and that'll be the third one. So I got 3. I got 3 on it. Yeah. All right. What else we got?
What will happen to the price of Bitcoin during the Super Bowl?
No. Oh, okay. Now explain to me. Bitcoin has drastically fallen, correct?
From the $20,000 range, yes. I think it's now at 1,800.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
imagine, oh man, that was it to sell. Oh, at those, I remember it was at 10,000, and we started talking about it at work, and that's when I started trying to figure out.
Okay, Bitcoin, the most was at 20. It's now at 3,500 basically.
Yeah.
Per coin.
Yeah, so it's like a third, less than a third.
Yeah, it's a really bad thing. So
yeah, so
they got prices more at the end of the game, -130. Prices less, -110.
It literally fluctuates like in the moment, like so
Yes.
it's essentially just a stock.
It's basically a stock.
Wow, okay.
It's a stock that's untraceable. That's why people use it to buy and sell things.
Yeah.
How many songs we played during the halftime show?
How many songs?
Yeah, over under 7.5.
Well, you got at least one from Travis Scott, and you got at least one from Big Boy.
And to
Right.
get the
Right.
so you got the rest of the
I mean,
stuff.
I figure both of those are going to do a medley of a couple of their songs. I don't know any Travis Scott songs. I'm not going to lie. So maybe you can play one. Maybe you can play one on our way out today. But I don't know any Travis Scott song. Is he from Atlanta, by the way?
No, he's from Houston.
So why Travis Scott? Because he's dating a Jenner or something like that, right?
I think it's because he's just one of the popular hip hop
Oh,
guys. at the time.
okay. Yeah,
He has his own festival in Houston and everything.
Okay, all right, cool.
So
I probably saw him at a Coachella the last couple of years, maybe when we walked by and said, "Hey, who was that?" I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, I understand Big Boy, and I know. I mean, he'll do whatever he can, from Outkast's era. That I guessing that were his songs, and so yeah, I'd say 7 songs, probably.
yeah, so that they're both over -120 on that
For how many songs?
for over under 7.5.
God damn. I was 3.5. I gotta start adding the halves to my guesses, and I would have been right.
What will be the first song Maroon 5 plays?
Like I said,
You don't know any of them, so
moves like Jagger. To me, I
Maroon
don't.
5 Jagger is +600.
And what's the favorite?
The favorite is One More Night at +300.
One More Night.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
God, you know what? I had a chance to go to the Chris Cornell tribute concert recently, and
How was that?
It was a giant cluster. It started. The ticket said 7. I got there at 6:30. It was the day that was raining the hardest here in Southern California on that Wednesday. Got there at 6:30. Show started at 7:30, right on the dot. The Melvins came out on stage and played like 4 songs.
Really?
The Melvins are an old school punk band, but I'll tell you,
Ryan actually interviewed him.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you know, it didn't do anything. I mean, right? It didn't hurt my ears, but this isn't good or clean. Then Rita Wilson came out and did 1 song, but the whole time you're like, there's no like somebody announcing it. There's nobody. There's just people come out on stage, and then Jimmy Kimmel showed up, and then Jimmy Kimmel was wearing a flannel and just seemed like he wasn't interested in it, and it was just very spotty that way. And then they bring out like people do 1 song, and you'd be like, that wasn't good. Like, and then they'd bring out somebody and you go, oh, that's amazing, you know. But the one thing you learn from a thing like that, and Chris Cornell was an absolute genius when it came to music, and his voice was one of the most unique, recognizable voices in the history of music, and no one comes close. No, I said before the show started, I thought women would probably do the better job of trying to make it because they could hit the higher notes. I thought people like Miley Cyrus and Taylor Momsen did the best versions of when their songs playing. But I heard somebody yesterday who was there who told me that Taylor Momsen was horrible to them. You know, the person I went with thought Miley Cyrus was horrible. Miley Cyrus got the biggest write up at the end of the night, so she was the one, you know. But she sang 2 songs, you know. So it was one in the beginning of the show, and she came back all the way at the end to do from Temple of Dog stuff, "Say Hello to Heaven." So and she did a really great job with the "Say Hello to Heavens." But yeah, but that was an interesting night. So yeah, but we got there because Adam Maroon 5
Levine.
Adam Levine, my Hebrew brother, he did a song, and I didn't like it there. I don't like his voice. I will not. I guarantee you, I will not be watching the halftime show. You know, so I'm going. I got invited to I went out last night, and I put my I got the hall pass last night. Went out, was in Uptown Whittier, and hanging out with Boog and an old CBA, and we were. I got invited to a Super Bowl party from one of the bartenders from the Havana House, who throws a big giant party every year, full bar, fully hosted. Yeah, I said sure, sounds good. So yeah, so been headed out to that one. What else we got for those prop bets?
For you, this one I got specifically for you.
Oh, how many Hebrew National hot dogs can I eat during?
Close.
Okay.
Will the Chick-fil-A franchise in Mercedes-Benz Stadium be open or closed on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, I know it's that. I know the answer to that one is a negative. They've already said that they're not going to open, and I thought to themselves, man, that is balls supreme. It is called Chick-fil-A. Isn't it called Chick-fil-A Stadium? Isn't that where they're playing?
It's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Is it the Mercedes-Benz? I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was the Chick-fil-A Stadium.
So if you go no, minus 1,100.
Yeah, so it's a huge favorite to be no.
Yeah,
You got to put $1,100 on it
to get 100
to win 100. But if they serve one goddamn chicken sandwich, you're losing your money.
And if,
so
if they serve one, you're plus $5.75.
That's a huge spread. That's a $425 spread. They are trying to get action on both sides of that, but they need to be 1,000, you know, and then maybe you put $100 on it just take a risk. But who the hell? I know prop bets. I don't know if you can see on that site there. A lot of prop bets have maximum numbers of dollars you can bet on them.
I don't got that.
Yeah, I have heard a number in the past, and I don't know if it to be true. Like $10,000 is the most you can put on a prop bet. Because people can be influenced, you know. If you put up $10,000 on the they will open, you know, bet, and then that's going to net you, $10,000 be $50,000. You can give $10,000 cash to somebody to make sure that they're there opening it up. And, here, I'll give you $5,000. You go to the Super Bowl, you get into the Super Bowl, you open up your Chick-fil-A, you know, at $5,000 for you.
Well, they had one up here. Yeah. Will somebody run on the field?
Yeah, but
you know, so I thought about that for influencing too, because if you do have it.
Yeah, what's a little jail time?
Yeah.
Well, I guess at the Super Bowl they'd probably be a little more. They'd probably lock you up immediately and probably wouldn't see you until about Tuesday. But still, again, it's if you have no record and you're just a drunk idiot, you know. But I think you'd probably get banned from all NFL games after that, something like that, on the Super Bowl. So,
which commercial will appear first?
Ooh.
Budweiser, Bud Light, Stella, Michelob Ultra, or Bon and V Spiked Seltzer?
We absolutely know it's one of those.
That's one of the 5 they got for the beers. They got beers, cars.
So of the beer commercials, which one?
Commercials,
yeah, I think it's got to be Budweiser. I mean, I don't know.
Budweiser's plus 150.
Yeah, I mean, would Budweiser go Bud Light first because it's
Bud
a more
Light's plus 210.
because it's a more desirable brand. You know,
It's the one that sells more.
Yeah, it sells more, but it's also just it's advertised more. You know, yeah. And they usually do a Clydesdale commercial towards the middle of it. But you hear what they're charging this year? What it's up to? $5.3 million is what I heard. 5.3.
The other one was how many commercials we played during the Super Bowl. The over.
How many?
What's the line? The line on the commercials.
Like from the start of the game to the end of the game?
Yep.
Wow, because there's a lot, but right before the game too. I'd say that's probably somewhere around 30 commercials.
The line is over. Line's 96.
96 commercials?
Yeah, the over under is 96.
Yeah, I mean 96. I mean they're talking the pregame shows then as well.
So and they're both negative 120.
Yeah, and did you hear that Coca-Cola is the first time they're not going to do a ad during the Super Bowl?
Really?
Coca-Cola is taking the last ad before the game starts. So as you're sitting down to watch the national anthem, yeah, I'm sure you got a prop bet for that one. The first Coca-Cola ad will only be seen then. I think that's actually brilliant. It's not as costly.
Well, yeah. So the one right below that is which commercial will appear first, Coke variants or Pepsi variants?
The answer is Pepsi variants.
So that's plus 130.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I guess if Pepsi has a commercial, I mean, and they're talking about, is it going to be Coke, before the game starts? That's what I say. Is that once kickoff happens? Is that from which point of those games? Is that included? So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting prop bets out there, and I always think that those are kind of fun to talk about. But I can tell you, I think one year I made some prop bets, and I think we talked about maybe like who would score the first touchdown. I think that's a good prop bet to do.
I give you the numbers right now.
Yeah, who I like for something like that. I like people like James White. I like C.J. Anderson. C.J.
Anderson plus 700. James White is plus 900.
Yeah, I like those bulldozing 1 yard backs. At the goal line. I mean, could it be
Tyler Higbee's plus 2,000?
Yeah, and Everett is up there as well. Correct.
Yeah, Everett's 2,500.
Yeah, you put $100 on both of those and just pray that it goes to a tight end. And it very well could. So. Yeah, so I mean, could it be Edelman and could it be
plus 900?
Yeah, but the favorite is who? Is Sony Michel?
Yeah, plus 500.
Plus 500. Sony Michel, the rookie running back, is the favorite to score the first touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's a hell. I think he's got 3 touchdowns in 2 games in the playoffs. Correct?
Yeah, he was killing it.
Yeah, he is.
He was killing it.
Yeah, Sony. So Sony. All right, what else you got for me there? What other?
Those are the fun ones. You just want touchdown bets and all that. The first touchdown.
No. So let's talk about let's talk about the game. Let's see what do you think? How do you think this thing's going to go? Do you think the strength of the Rams front four, which has always been the recipe of how to beat Tom Brady? Do you think that actually gets it done, or do you think the fact that Tom Brady hasn't been touched in 2 games in the playoffs is going to continue? And he's going to pick apart the linebackers, who are not we don't have the best linebacker. We've got great front four and a great and good defensive secondary, but the linebacking core has never been considered great.
I think this is going to be the first time this whole playoffs that the Patriots O-line is going to get their ass kicked.
I literally hope so. It's one of those things where I want to see Tom Brady with a deer in the headlights look, as a Rams fan. But part of me thinks that they're going to figure it out.
I think they'll figure it out by the half.
If they're getting a lot of pressure on them, which I expect, because I think they're going to double team Aaron Donald, and I think Dominican Sue will have his chances to get in there and get his sacks with blockers. And I think that's going to happen. But I think that what they'll do is they'll just go for really quick timing passes, just like they did against Kansas City at the end of the game with Edelman. It's like hike, boom, boom, ball's out. You're not going to wait for a play to develop. You're going to you're going to guide the play to develop, and that's where the continuity with the Patriots is so scary, because he can do that with Gronk, with Edelman. He gets there with with James White and something like those 3 guys have been around there long enough where they kind of feed off of each other. they know where to be when Brady's in trouble. So,
but I think if the Rams defense is as good as it should be, they'll win by 2 touchdowns.
What's funny is that we predicted on the show when we were here, as soon as the games were going on, and I said, who do you think the favorite's going to be? And I said, I think it's going to be the Rams. Pick them. And I remember Sky go, no way, it'll be New England by so and so. I said the Rams had a better record. The Rams were just as good. Maybe because they got it backed into the being there doesn't change the fact they're a great team. And finished 2 games better than them than the Patriots, and started off as Rams -1. And right now, I believe it's at it did go to New England immediately. It went to New England on the New England side.
The money went straight to New England.
Yeah, the money went straight to New England, and I'm gonna look it up right now. I think it is at 2.5. Let's see. Yeah, it's still 2.5. So 2.5. So now, if you want to bet the Rams straight up, it's +120. And by the way, your boy did bet the Rams to make the Super Bowl this year, so that and then to win the Super Bowl. I'm all my prop bets, by the way.
But we have a bet for the Rams and the Patriots this year.
We do. We do.
Me and my dad.
Oh, sweet.
So we had both the Rams and the Patriots to win the Super Bowl this year.
Very nice.
So no matter who wins, I'm winning.
Yeah, that's what I can't decide. I have a bet. I have $100 bet that I put on before the season started that you and I had done our bets. Our season long bets, and I took one for the Rams to win the NFC. So that's going to pay me. I profited $500, but I get my $100 back. So it's plus $600 there. And if they win a Super Bowl, it's another $700. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Good deal.
What'd you get? You remember what you got yours at?
I think mine were Rams was plus 550.
Yeah.
Patriots was plus 450.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I was thinking about putting some money on New England to make sure I get some cash, out of the day. But now New England has to win by 2.5. I'm kind of scared of that bet because it turns out that they'd try to figure a way to screw me and only win by 1 or 2, and then I'd be out on both sides.
Yeah, because they never blow anybody out in the Super Bowl. They always just win.
Yeah, it's always close. But I 2.5 is a really a nice number though, because if you think they're going to win, usually you win by 3. It's just those rare games where it's not that case. But yeah. So, yeah, but no, I'm actually really looking forward to the game. I'm not looking forward at all to the halftime show, like we said.
I think this is one year I just really can't wait to watch the game and just talk a lot of shit. Because now it's the first time LA had a team that we can actually be – first time we had a team to play in a Super Bowl in, 30-something years?
Since the Raiders in 85, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders in 85 is the last time.
It's crazy.
Right. So, and that's the thing, too, is that I saw – somebody asked me yesterday, she said, oh, you're a Rams fan, right? I said, yeah. She's like, are you going to the thing tomorrow? Like, and I'm like, thing? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, they're having some sort of parade send-off party. And they basically had it at the new stadium, at the parking lot of Hollywood Park. And I was
right
like –
across the street from the Red Lobster.
Right. And I was just like, man – I'm never going to be that guy for I would if the Dodgers made it to the World Series and they had a World Series send off party, I wouldn't go to that. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy, like when they have the World Series parade, I'll be there, I'll need to take some time off of work because I'm probably going to do that a little too hard, but yeah, no, I'm never going to do something like that. But yeah, it is amazing how the city is now. I mean, every closeted Rams fan, if you once rooted for the Rams, man, you are definitely on board. And as myself, I welcome you all back on the bandwagon. I'm one of the leaders of that bandwagon. I have no problem admitting that. I do think it's going to make it exciting again. I wish they were already in their new stadium because I still have no desire to go to any game next year. As the Rams are going to, if the Rams win the Super Bowl, we have a Super Bowl winning team. And I still would not want to go to the Coliseum again next year to watch a game. That's how bad that place is. So, but yeah, no. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm glad they're bringing excitement back to football as well for sure in this city. So
I got a couple of props I think you might want to look at too. I didn't see these receiving yards for Todd Gurley over under 30.5.
I would go under.
Really?
Only because of the fact he's had a minimal,
I think he's going to be fucking crazy on the game. I think Gurley for MVP is actually a really good bet, and I think picking him up for that 1,300, 1,600, I think he's going to be it. I think he's going to be the reason why they kick a lot of ass on the offensive side. Because I haven't seen who have the Patriots to stop in a run. Really? I mean,
Everybody recently.
no, but what's his name? Got kicked out for kicking a chick from
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt. So who else did Casey have?
But Casey's guys, Damian Williams is filled in great. You know, when he went out, he was doing exceptional things. But that's the thing about the Patriots. It's the Patriots have those guys called Damian Williamses on their teams. Just them. It's the next guy up, and it's always been. They've never had a great running back in there, but I mean they had what was it? James. What's it? Marshall Faulk's brother. What was it?
James Falk.
Was it James Falk? Yeah, it doesn't sound right, but yeah. But they had Falk for the longest time, and he's not good. He was never a good running back. He went on to another team it was Kevin Falk. Kevin Falk. Yeah, he went on to another team and didn't do anything. You know, you see that now with the who was the pass catching? He had a pass catching. He went to Tennessee, and with their former offensive coordinator there. I can't remember his name. What team? What his name is? But yeah, he went on. They don't do well outside of it. For some reason, when they're in that system, they always do well, and that's what I expect out of Kansas City. Kansas City.
Derrick Henry.
No, Derrick Henry. No, it's different. He used to play for the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
He's basically a pass catching, option, like third down back. But he had a couple fumbles famously in one game and never basically played again for Bill Belichick, which is that's the thing too, is that the Patriots will not be beating themselves. You know that the Patriots are not going to be beating themselves, and that's why you almost feel comfortable. Like a team's not going to beat themselves; they're going to be in this game. I want to put my money on Tom Brady. You know, that's how I kind of feel like that's it's almost like it's dumb to bet against New England. You know, until somebody does it, you know, it always feels that way. So, yeah. So, do we got anything else to talk about the Super Bowl side, or on the prop bet side?
No, not really. Everything else just boring. It's like how many receptions, who's going to be the rushing yards and all that. Rushing yards, try Gurley 72.5. James White's 19. No, nothing fun like before, unless you want to bet the color of the Gatorade. Purple is plus 1,000.
Purple.
So if that purple stuff is plus 1,000.
Purple?
Yeah, purple.
Purple drink?
Purple drink.
Do they drink purple drink?
So it's like lime green, yellow, 2 1/4.
I always
orange 3.
Yeah, when I think about it, I always think orange gets tossed because that's probably the least popular one.
Yeah,
so that's one. So
blue.
They still have a full. If they did the green one or the purple one, I'd be like, those are the ones that go first. You know.
But yeah, purple's 1,000.
Yeah.
Red's 400. Blue's 375. Water's 400.
No, you can't do water. I'm sorry. And it's an indoor stadium too. So do you even do? I mean, yeah, they're gonna get McVay for sure. You think his spotter gets? I
hope so.
Yeah, get them both. That should be the prop bet. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, him and his spotter both get the Gatorade bath. So, oh man, I do. That would be an awesome fucking resume to see. I want to see that guy's resume. Personally, assisted the hips area of Mr. Sean McVay. Dude, can you imagine how is he just turned 33 years old? I heard him on Mason in Ireland this week. He called in on his birthday. Said, yeah, I don't really do birthdays, so to me, it's just another day, you know. And I'm like, man, this guy is so solely focused on football, and he's such a good communicator.
He's the son of those football coaches.
Yes,
that's why.
And he played in college. He played against. You know who he played against?
Tom Brady?
No, Julian Edelman.
Really?
They were both small school guys. Edelman was a quarterback, and McVay was a receiver. So yeah, but he's. I mean, that's one thing to be positive about being a Rams fan too. This isn't gonna be the first. This isn't gonna be the last Super Bowl we have with this guy. It won't. You know, for somehow, some way, he'll get that team in there again. So I guess a lot of teams probably say that and they don't make it for 30 years, but who knows? But
as long as the Patriots are still there, we can't.
Yeah. So. Do you want to talk about Luke Walton getting fired?
I do want to hear about that. I mean, they say they want to fire him, right? Or LeBron's actually asking for another coach.
Basically, LeBron hasn't said anything, but LeBron's camp is making it very well known that they want Luke out. We've seen this story everywhere he's gone.
David Blatt.
David Blatt gone. He wanted from Miami Spoelstra. He wanted Spoelstra out. It didn't happen.
Yeah. Pat Riley said, fuck off.
But that was Pat Riley's hire.
Yeah.
So Pat Riley's the one who hired this guy that no one had heard of and didn't have the respect of LeBron or other greats. But Pat Riley basically said, so Luke Walton needs Magic Johnson to go. LeBron, your coach is and will be Luke Walton. Make it work. That's the only thing that the LeBron's going to respect, because he's not going to respect it for coming from anybody else. And that's only going to happen if Magic Johnson truly believes in Luke Walton. Do I think that's the case? I'm sure he likes him. I'm sure he respects the fact that he's a former Laker, that he wanted to be a Laker. He could have had his pick of teams, but he wanted to coach the Lakers even though they were not the best team, because he loved the Lakers so much. But yeah, I don't know how that ends. I was listening to something on the way over here. Jackie McMullen just came up basically and just in a podcast this week. Basically, just she came out and said, yeah, it's not a secret that LeBron's camp wants him out, is it? And it was sort of like, and it was with David, who's a big guy, LeBron whisperer, big.
I know you're talking about the one comes on after.
He's always on the jump. He's always on anytime there's anything with LeBron, they bring him on. Yeah, and he's basically said, pause and went, nope, I guess not. So everyone knows that this is happening, but just it had never been reported. So now that came out that LeBron's camp wants him out, and wants him out as quickly as possible. But I don't know what you expect out of your coach if you're LeBron James. Do you want somebody who's just going to basically just ignore, challenge you? Because he said apparently he had not, even in Miami and in Cleveland when it was Blatt, he basically just ignored play calls, sometimes. But he's at a level where I guarantee you James Harden's not running plays.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
No, he can't. He doesn't get an assist.
At some point in the game when it's 5-on-5 and you're the best player and you're the best player in the world, so you're the best player on the court out of 10 people, you're just gonna say fuck it and go for it, and you're gonna try to do it however you think you can get it done best. And just run the plays, for 3.5 quarters, if you have to. That was the Kobe method. That's the James Harden method. It's a lot of the great players in history have done that. Hey, it's time for me to shine. I'll see in a little bit. See your playbook in a little bit. So yeah, I think that's really interesting. So the Lakers are actually winning right now, which I know it's shocking to believe. It's halftime. They are beating the without Kuzma or LeBron. They are beating the worst team in the league, Phoenix Suns, 65-53 at halftime. 65-53 at halftime. That's Brandon Ingram with 17 points at halftime. It's pretty nice right there. So, but yeah.
So another thing, do you think they're going to be able to trade for the Brow?
I don't know.
I
don't know if you're New Orleans, why would you want to trade him until you absolutely had to?
Right.
Like there's no have to. You got one more year on him. Why would you not wait till at least next year? Like, if you trade him, the people who have the tickets that they've already paid for are not going to come to the games. So if you want to have empty stadiums, you want to sell 0 jerseys, because no one's buying any other jersey. No one's buying a Julius Randle jersey. I'm sorry, they're just not. I love Julius Randle when he was a Laker. I would have bought a Randle jersey if he was still here. But no one's buying his jersey. They're only going there to see the Brow. They know they're not winning championships, so they want to see the best let's say 7 to 10 best players in the league, maybe top 5.
Top 5.
I hate the top 5 thing because I can name you 4 guys and you go, oh yeah. No. I mean,
I'll do it right now. You got LeBron.
Yep.
You got Steph.
Yep.
You got KD. You got the Brow. You got Giannis.
Harden.
No.
Curry.
I said Steph. Steph was 2.
Okay.
And KD.
Westbrook's not in there?
No.
Wow. See, I think there's I even think a healthy Boogie Cousins could be in that.
Healthy Boogie Cousins is top 15 easy.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I know we're missing Euros too. There's a couple of Euros that I don't know that I don't personally know the Saric's and the Yards and
what's his name
Nicola in Denver. Yeah. The one in there's one in Orlando as well. It was the Vucevic.
He might be a Clipper.
Yeah. So yeah. And then, here the Clippers are holding down to the 8th spot right now, huh?
Dude, it's been a fucking tough run.
It's been a free fall.
But we went 4 of the last 5. We got our asses kicked for 5 games in a row, and then now finally, what's his name?
Is it health issues or is it just
health issues?
Or are they coming back down to the pack?
Finally got on his normal 6 schedule. What's our power forward or what's that?
Tobias?
Not the other guy.
Montrez?
No, the Italian Gallinari.
Okay.
Gallinari finally got back on his injury training. Gallinari's been I don't think he's ever played a full season in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most year played like 60 games, so there's always going to be something. And so he just started his up. So he had back issues, and he's not playing. The last game I saw him, and they got their asses handed to him.
Yeah,
it was the Jazz beat the shit out of us, and it was embarrassing because Gobert got 20 and 20 on us. Gobert, he's a 7'3" center.
I'm sorry, Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, Monsieur Gobert.
Monsieur.
We got our asses handed to it because we didn't have a center, and I'm thinking they're gonna pick up a center. So I thought they're either get Vujicic or Lopez, because
Lopez's stock is going way up.
Yeah, Lopez wants to get the hell out of
Milwaukee.
No,
you talking about which Lopez?
The one that's in Chicago.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Chicago's a fucking death now.
Brooke Lopez is the one with Giannis hitting 3-pointers like crazy.
Yeah, and with the best record in
Robin's Sideshow Bob. Is
Sideshow. Milwaukee has the best record in the league by half game over the Warriors. The Warriors now are just they're now in first again.
The Warriors are the scariest thing I've seen ever.
Yeah, I mean the season's over. Yeah, we've talked about that. We've talked about this. I mean the season is over. The Warriors are now won 10 in a row. Good Lord, they have now. I want to say that if you think about it, besides Draymond, but they have the best shooting guard. They have best point. I guess I don't know. Steph's just the best guard. They're the best guard. They have the best power forward and the best center. I guess Durant's actually a small forward, isn't he? Yeah, he's a small forward. The best small forward, the best guard and the best center in basketball right now. So it's like holy shit. I guess maybe if you say that, I don't know, positionality wise, obviously there's the unibrow as well. But yeah, no, the team is so scary. The season's over. They're going to win again, unless Steph and or KD get hurt. I don't think there's any chance that they don't win it. And I'd say they'd be more apt to win it if KD went out versus Steph, because they've done it before with the core four, So, but yeah, I mean, I hate to say it because before the season even started, it sounded like it was going to be possible with Houston, getting back into it, and the record is getting back into it. For somebody to challenge basically Golden State, but it just doesn't look like it. It doesn't even look like it's impossible because they're having fun again. They're playing well. They're having fun. You can see the look on their faces. I've seen the shimmies. It's funny because they look a little bit older. You look at Steph and you look at Clay. They look like they've gone through the boxing match a little bit for the last few years. I guess maybe because the beards don't really work for those guys either. They're currently sporting, both of them sporting beards. Yes, but they do look older, but they're looking like they're having fun out there again.
Yeah, so. They look like they're having a great time.
Yep.
Basketball's done. We have nothing else to do.
I would like to go see LeBron to play this year.
You want to go there Thursday?
They're playing this Thursday?
This Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
That might, so if he's back, shit, man, I would love to go this Thursday. Let's pray that he's back.
Okay.
So I mean, LeBron. Wait. Do I have to wear my Can I wear my LeBron?
Whatever you want to wear.
Can I wear my LeBron James jersey that I bought at Costco before the season started?
Oh, I'd love to see this.
No, it's a legit jersey. It was $35 versus whatever it would cost anywhere else. I was like, hey, thank you, thanks Costco. So it was basically a real version of one of the fake Chinese ones. So I was pretty excited about that. I saw you on your list there. You were before you had a couple of things you wanted to talk about. What do you want to shoot at me?
I want you to look up Deadspin.com right now.
Deadspin, okay, yeah, all right.
And I want you to go to the trophy ceremony and see Jason Witten breaking off the Pro Bowl trophy.
Oh, the Pro Bowl happened? Is that what?
The Pro Bowl happened today.
Okay, so NFL Deadspin, is that where I'm going? Let's see. Deadspin NFL. There is a video. There's Jason Witten holding a video. Yeah, and he holds it. He tries to hold. Oh, yeah, he basically just took the top off of it.
Yeah, he broke it.
He didn't necessarily broke it. He basically just lifted it, and it came off. So guess what? You just won a piece of shit trophy.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Who is going to display that?
It's like Mahomes is.
he basically that's awesome. He basically probably thought that it was just the top part of the trophy,
Yeah, if they can hold on, it's like solid all around.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is amazing. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, Pro Bowl, the most useless. Hopefully nobody got hurt today.
Nobody got hurt. I was leaving the airport and I saw I was on TV. I walked right by. I'm like, this isn't a normal Pro Bowl because it was 24/7 was the game.
Right.
It was actually defense was played for some reason.
Or just lack of off. Like I want to say that they should play it like flag.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like just do it. Just do an exhibition because we know it's not a real game. We know people aren't getting out there to get hurt. So yeah, but that's just it's a silly thing. So it's a silly thing to still be playing the Pro Bowl. You could name them Pro Bowlers. How about that? How about we just give you give you the thing because you do get bonuses for making the Pro Bowl. You get you get an opportunity to still I guess play one more. I guess if you're a Cincinnati Bengal, you want to go to the Pro Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you played if you are a Kansas City Chief or New Orleans Saint, do you want to be or a Cowboy or an Eagle, and you just got knocked out of the playoffs? Do you really want to be there?
Not at all.
No, I mean you don't. I mean, I guess to hang with your buddies, but it's in Orlando. If it played a game in Vegas, they'd all want to be there. They'd all go.
Well, I'm going. Hawaii beforehand,
right?
And they still didn't want to go.
But Hawaii is. I've been there for the Pro Bowl, and the Pro Bowl it's a family event. So you don't necessarily if you're a young player without a family. What are you going to Hawaii for? Hawaii is not a great party destination. Waikiki's got some stuff. But yeah, I mean I'm telling you, put the damn thing in Vegas every year. Just say, hey, you know what? We're holding our Pro Bowl in Vegas. And
they probably will because now we got the stadium.
Yeah,
up there.
and that place will just be literally lit. For an entire week. And I'm sorry, did I not use that term right?
You used the urban vernacular in a proper way.
Okay, thank you. Because I as I'm getting older, I have to question myself on my common day vernacular, terms.
The urban vernacular.
Yes.
You know what drip means, right?
I have no idea what drip means,
Drip
sir.
means that you're dressed fresh. You look really clean.
Oh, am I drip today? Wait, hold on.
Your shirt's pretty drip in my opinion.
Okay, good. Make sure my recent eating brigade here isn't blocking the fact that I am wearing my Banksy shirt called Going Gone. So yeah, no, I did get a prop. Is that I got my props today?
You did
by an employee at the Disneyland resort. So he's like, "Oh, I love your shirt, bro." I'm like, "Thanks, man."
I got mine too on the airport.
Yeah,
But,
nice.
Good times.
Yeah, which shirt? Which shirt were you wearing today?
This shirt I have on right now, the one with the pirate's chest, it just looks like a booty.
Yes, very nice.
So
Yes, that is a classic. Do you rebuy your shirts or do you just take very good care of them?
I rebought this one because
because you have had some shirts in rotation.
Yeah.
The I Will Cuddle You So Hard shirt that I'm like, I've seen that shirt on you.
I only bought that once.
I've seen that shirt on you probably 10 to 15 times in person. So yeah. I was thinking about you yesterday. We drove by the Yard House in Palm Springs area I'd say I want to say was the first time that you and I hung out and we became magical friends.
Right.
I want to say that was the night that it happened. You may be able to change my mind on that, but that to me is the night when you showed up with a afro pick in your hair.
You're one of the only people that heard me on the radio that's still around.
Right. We saw you on the radio. We went to a club. And you got us in this club immediately forget the line. We got into I was like, what the hell? This guy's a legend right here. I love this man right here. Yeah. So yeah,
those were the days.
Yeah. It's the Bronx Bombers recovering from a hip and knee replacement surgery they had earlier this week. So we were out there visiting him there for a couple hours yesterday. So he's out he was at the Eisenhower getting the surgery done, and he's at the rehab hospital now. So yeah, he's peace be with you, Mr. Bronx Bomber. I talked to him earlier on the way over here. He seems to be doing okay, but he's 73 and recovering from double joint replacements. So yeah, it's going a little slow. So yeah. So so we got 1 more minute to go.
So with that last one, there's 2 things I either want you to do.
Sure.
One, you talk about Bryce Harper and Manny Machado not getting a contract yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in 2 weeks. Because if in 2 weeks if they're still not signed, then it's a story. Because by that point, I believe the catchers and pitchers report in the beginning of February, or mid February. If they don't have teams by spring training, that's when it becomes an issue. JD Martinez last year signed really late with I think it was February 28th.
He's a Clipper. He's
a Boston Red Sox.
No, who's the Dodger? Who's the Dodgers?
AJ Pollock.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's a good signing. Honestly, I would still prefer to have Puig in right field, and do my platoon someplace else. But he's gonna hold center field down. You don't have to worry about center field. So if you want to do your platoon with Bellinger and Verdugo and whoever else you're going to play in the outfield, and Taylor and Peterson, if they're all still on the team, you want to do those lefty righties, from there, that's fine. I think our YouTube just went down, but that's okay. It's fine, but yeah, I still would have rather had Puig. And but yeah, if Harper and Machado are not signed, you're seeing it this week. The stories came out this week basically that it's the lesser teams that are offering the deals. So I don't know if they're just really looking for the right opportunity. There's no Bostons, there's no Chicagos, and there's no Dodgers going after Yankees. There's no Mets. There's no big market money teams going after these players, which is drawing the interest down basically to the Chicago White Sox, the Philadelphia Phillies, and now the San Diego Padres, who are going after one or both of these guys. Do you really want to go to San Diego? Do you really want to just go? Yeah, I'll be the man. I'll get paid. You could probably get 8 to 10 year contracts at those places at the money you kind of want, $25 to $35 million a year, but you're going to lose. Yeah. You're going to continue to lose. Do you want that?
That's what I was reading about. I was going to talk to you about the Nick Collison getting his jersey retired.
Oh,
too.
I'm sorry. Who?
Nick Collison.
Yeah, I guess we can keep going because I don't see any wrestling guys walking in the door yet.
No, they're not coming in.
Oh shit, we can keep going then. Oh my god.
So the thing about that, I was reading that the Houston Astros manager said that there's no way they're going to get that money they want because the optics just doesn't work anymore that way.
Right, and
it's too much money towards that one.
Absolutely true. It's absolutely true. You can't in baseball. You can't pay one player that much money. The only players that are going to get that are going to be the true elites. And I hate to tell you, Bryce Harper and Manny Machado, you're not true elites. Okay, you're not Mike Trout. You're not Mookie Betts. You're not Scherzer or Kershaw when he got his money. You're not one of those guys. You are right there. You're right below them, but you're not one of those guys. And there's been too many bad contracts. And teams have learned from that. The analytics have proven you don't give somebody a 10-year contract. You never want to give them a 10-year contract. So when Eric Hosmer signs with the San Diego Padres last year and he gets 7 years, that was the only team willing to give him 7 years. He's going to be in his mid-30s when he's done with that contract and be worthless. But maybe at 20, I think he signed for a little over $20 million a year. You have to go live in San Diego and play for a team that's not going to win. But for Eric Hosmer, he's probably sleeping real good at night. It just depends on what you want, and that's why I think that Bryce Harper really wanted the Dodgers. I think he really wanted to come here. I think he wanted to be a winner, but he wasn't going to sacrifice dollars to do so. So I don't see where either one of them sign that they're in contention next year. I think there's a chance that Bryce Harper goes back to the Nationals now.
Really?
Yeah, I think the longer it goes, hey, if somebody said you can get Bryce Harper right now for 1 year, I'd say do it. If you said for 3 years, do it. For 5 years, sure. Anything more than that, I'd be like, no, don't do it because you're gonna be paying for shit at one point, and that doesn't make sense. If you could continually give people 1 year contracts, there's no point in doing that, and that's what they're learning. In the past, players wouldn't accept 1 year contracts. Now players are accepting it in baseball and in basketball. You see it all the time. 1 year deals, 1 year deals, 1 year deals. You never saw 1 year deal. It was always, I need to get 2 or 3 years, unless you were a declining player, unless you had something to prove. Now it's proven players, just like I was talking about Eric Hosmer last year. That was where only place. Mike Moustakas was a better player than him on his own team on Kansas City with them. He went to free agency and thought he was going to get that multi-year long, and he had a 1 year deal was making less than that 1 year deal last year that he had a chance to because he signed it with Kansas City and then got traded to Milwaukee during the season. But he was making less on that 1 year deal than what he could have gotten if he taken the qualifying offer from Kansas City originally. It was like $18 million.
That's exactly what's happening with DeAndre Jordan.
Right.
DeAndre got a $20 million deal. The Clippers offered him, I think, $80 million for a couple of years, for 4 years.
Right.
And now people think if he comes out when he comes a free agent next year, he's not going to get no more than like $6 or $7 million.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
He's just not that player anymore. So he screwed up. So you're right. The optics right now are just so different in baseball where now it's like we got to make sure our money's spent in the correct way instead of just throwing money at a big name. And like they say, when they say if you're going to put a big name, like, okay, the White Sox get Machado or Harper. How many seats does that really count for? How many jerseys does that count for when you're down there?
I think it counts for a ton of jerseys. I think you immediately sell, and either one of those guys, that's one of those things. You're going to sell tickets and sell jerseys if you get signed either one of those. So if you are a smaller market team, it makes perfect sense. If you are a team like Chicago and like Philadelphia, I think both those teams make sense for both of those guys. Because the White Sox aren't going to remain bad like the Padres, they're the White Sox are in a weak division, so there's a chance, but Cleveland might be decline in the decline rather than still winning division, guaranteed division winner, so there's a chance that these teams you can go and do well there. Philadelphia was really good last year. They barely missed the playoffs, so you could be the difference maker in Philadelphia if you want to play in Philadelphia. I mean, Philadelphia's a tough place to play. Yeah. You strike out 3 times in a game in Philadelphia, they're booing you. Okay, and their passion is all hell when you win, but do you want that?
Okay, well, I'm just reading right now. I was looking at Eric Hosmer's stats.
Yes, sir.
And they said that Machado is actually the Padres are number 1 in the Machado Derby. Would it be fucking crazy to see that Hosmer and Machado on the 1 and 3? Are they that good of players to change the fortunes of the Padres?
No.
No. Okay.
Look. San Diego's still a great place to pitch. If I was the San Diego Padres, I would put a lot of money. I would try to mirror the old St. Louis Cardinals style of playing. Instead of going for home runs, I'd be going for triples. I'd be going for singles, bunt singles. I'd be going for great defense in the outfield, great speed in the outfield, and your shortstop position. And I'd be doing that instead of trying to play modern day baseball. Because the pitch, it's a distinct pitching advantage. Pitching in San Diego, it's a pitcher's ballpark. So why not go to your strengths? And I never understood that why Colorado sometimes tries to be fancy. Just Colorado, just outscore everybody. Get the Masters like you did in the Galarraga and Dante Bichette days. Just get those guys on your team, have a mash, and know that your pitchers are going to give up runs. Tell your manager, don't worry. Tell your pitching coach, don't worry about it. You're not getting fired for having the worst ERA in the league. We know you're going to have the worst ERA in the league. We need you to manage the players, accordingly. So that to me is where I find that kind of funny that way, but so.
All right, so let's end with this last one.
Ooh, end. This is the end.
Yeah. So Nick Collison.
He played in the league, right?
Played in the NBA.
NBA. That league. Okay, good.
He actually played in the NBA for 13 years.
He's a big white guy. Played for Kansas, right? Is that the same Nick Collison?
That same guy.
Like he was a pretty good player for a while. Was like a 6-man type, and a small forward or power forward?
Power forward and center.
Power forward and center. All right. He probably averaged 15 points a game, maybe.
Not even close.
Not even close to 15 points a game.
No, his career average is 5.9.
No. You're lying.
His best year was 9.8.
His best year.
Yeah.
Okay. You started this off earlier. Maybe if you're just listening right now, the man did say he got his number retired by the Oklahoma City Thunder.
He did, and he's not dead.
He didn't die.
He didn't die.
This isn't like it's like Roy Halladay in the Hall of Fame. We can still talk about the Hall of Fame, by the way, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had that. But you're talking about Nick Collison. He averaged 9.8 in his career.
No, averaged 5.9 in his career.
5.9, and his best year was 9.8.
And that was the last year of the Seattle Supersonics.
Was he? I don't know, having sex with the owner's daughter?
I'm guessing because.
How do you get your number retired? How is that even a possibility? Because I saw the story earlier and I thought, all right, sure, no problem. And because the story, the headline of the story is, for the dummies like me who only read the headlines, it says that Kevin Durant is diverting a trip to make sure he can be in Oklahoma City for Nick Collison's retiring his jersey. And those numbers are staggering. That I cannot figure out why. Why?
I can give you everything about him, dude. He's really, really unimpressive.
He's a guy.
He's really unimpressive.
He's a guy. Look. Everybody should get their number retired if you play in the NBA because there's very few players in the history of the league that have ever played. You know?
And he only played all 82 games one time.
There's 30 teams, right? 30 teams?
Yep.
And there's 15 players who have contracts on 30 teams. Only 12 are active. So if we do 12 actives, that's 360 players a year. All right? Give or take the rotation of players for injury in, let's just call it another 180. So 540 players a year, right? For, let's say, 20 years, you're talking about, 10,000 people who have ever played, like in the last, okay, great. But if there's 10,000 guys who have played in the last 20 years, he's in the top. He's like somewhere around 8,000. You know.
And the dude. So basically, I think they did it because he's been Supersonic and Thunder ever since. He played 910 games and that.
So he's the Randy Smith of Oklahoma City.
Yeah. So he didn't. It's really
he only had one. He only played for the one organization.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of makes sense a little bit, but they're gonna regret that. What number is it? Was it a good number at least?
Number 4.
That's my favorite. My favorite number. Not a huge popular number for sport for basketball. It's not like they retired 23 or 32. You know. So okay. Congratulations, Nick Collison. And then like I was just briefing there before Hall of Fame. Let's briefly talk about the Hall of Fame, and then we'll get out of here. Mariano Rivera made it to the Hall of Fame unanimously this week. Roy Halladay. When I think of Hall of Famers, I don't necessarily think of it, but his numbers were there, and they proved it. Mike Mussina, I'm glad he finally got in. I thought he was a Hall of Famer. And Edgar Martinez, the greatest DH we have ever seen that before Big Papi came around. But definitely he was one of the most clutch hitters of all time. Happy that he finally got in. I think he played almost his whole career with Seattle. We got our first ever player in the history of the game of baseball get 100% of the vote for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he earned it.
I want to tell you that he absolutely earned it. I'm still a little bitter, and for only this reason why. I don't know how Babe Ruth and Nolan Ryan and other players who were absolute, no doubt about Hall of Famers. I don't know how they weren't 100%. And I'm not sure how a relief pitcher became the first one. I would have loved to have seen Griffey get it a few years ago, but he got, I think, 3 people left him off their ballots. There were a lot of players to vote for this season. There were a lot of players who got a very big percentage of votes. Omar Vizquel, 42%. You still have Bonds and Clemens and Schilling getting in the 50 and 60% category. You had Lance Berkman getting votes. You have Larry Walker getting votes. You have all these guys who've been around for a long time that I went, somebody didn't just say, what, a guy from Boston, who got beat by him, didn't say, screw this, I'm not giving this relief pitcher, putting him on my ballot. Not one person. I'm a little disappointed in the bitter old Baseball Writers Association. I wanted somebody to stand up for the.
You were so right. Only 3 people did not vote for Ken Griffey.
Yeah,
he had the highest percentage before Mariano Rivera with the 100%.
Yes, and mind you, this is coming. I
go down the list to tell you everybody what the percentages. So
this is coming because of the fact that we actually have what do you call it accountability. Yeah. So people are posting their ballots online. So you're seeing who people are voting for. So that the accountability factor, and that's why Steph Curry a couple of years ago was our first unanimous MVP for the NBA, because they were actually posting who voted for who. So the year that Shaq went absolutely nuts in the league, one person didn't vote for him. And that's fine. Like, you should have those biases. I don't think, Derek Jeter comes up next year. I don't think Derek Jeter's getting 100%. You know what I mean? I don't. Mariano Rivera was the best closer ever by a long shot, right? But he has 60 more saves than Hoffman Trevor Hoffman from the Padres. You know what I mean? So it's I would have liked to have saved that for. I don't know who I would have wanted to see get 100%. But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting on that. So. Well, thanks for listening. There's a few people out there that actually are listening right now. Do appreciate you. A couple people watching right now on YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Scotty. Hope you won your golf tournament in Pebble Beach out there. And if you're looking for Heel Talk Radio, unfortunately, they are not coming in this evening. We'll see those guys again. Well, I don't think they'll be here next week. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Gosh, I hope nobody has to come in. Nobody has to come in and engineer.
Royal Rumble today. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, Royal Rumble's today. Oh, they're definitely going to want to be here next week. You better get another engineer to.
They're coming in on Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Hopefully, do that show early. So excellent. So I want to thank everybody for listening to B&I rant here for last hour and a half or so about sports. Let's enjoy that Super Bowl. Go Rams. And go Super Bowl parties, Super Bowl squares. I'm in quite a few of those. And we'll have a great time. All right. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks to recap the Super Bowl. All right. Later.